I want to share with everybody else, you can have fun, like 60s, menopause, cancer, all that other stuff. That's not a stop sign. That's definitely a like, put on those big girl panties and keep going because there's so much more fun to have out there.
Hi, and welcome to Laine's Domain. Our guest player today is Edie. Edie's experienced several bouts of cancer, one 20 years ago and one in 2020. The most recent bout was extremely serious and the treatments were some of the most grueling of cancer protocols. We're going to talk about that and how she made it through. But first, let's welcome Edie. Hi, Edie. So glad you're here.
Woohoo! Hey.
Your taco maker business. Can we jump forward to that?
My dear sweet husband and I, we thought that it would be important as we age to have another source of income. And so why not have a restaurant, especially a fast food restaurant in rural North Carolina? But I hated the financial burden of it. But yeah, it was a very interesting experience. We had it open for about a year, and then finally, I believe I was on the verge of a breakdown. Because I could not juggle everything. And I was trying to be all things to all people, as well as the restaurant with day-to-day operations, future thinking, planning, and financing. And I'm like, I don't know how to do it anymore. And the stress of all of that, I believe, took the biggest hit on my body.
It took its toll on your health then, right?
It 100% took a toll on my health. Come around to do mammogram, so did that and came back, and it's like, yeah, sorry, we need to go figure something out. Let's start with the oncologist and figure out a new plan from there.
Right. I mean, you were in good health. Were you in good health other than the terrible stress you were under with the restaurant?
Pretty good. I thought I was pretty good at, doing monthly self-exams, and like I had when I was younger, I had very dense breasts and I had like fibrocystic knots everywhere. They weren't bad after kids. I mean, they were fine, and I didn't see anything, feel anything different. So when it was that, it was like, oh, really? Well, there's probably nothing. And then it was like, oh, yes, there is. So I just thought, like, okay, this is one of those kind of things. And I still remember going into the oncologist, and she was a very knowledgeable woman. And she said, like, what we're more than likely going to do is a mastectomy. And she said, but afterwards, we're going to look at things to determine whether you're going to need chemo or radiation. I said, okay, that's fine. The mastectomy, I had a single mastectomy done. They did that, and I was, like, okay, we're good to go. Tamoxifen for the next 5 years. Well, unfortunately, I was not like the most compliant of patients, because when I started taking it, and I would take it like with normal, vitamins and things like that in the morning, and it gave me like this raging headache. It's like I can't function kind of headache. So like, no. So I would take it at night so that I could get to sleep before the headache hit. And I mean, why not? Yeah. So that all worked out. But really, after about, I'm going to say like 2.5 years, I said, I don't really want to take this anymore, because like, I'm not getting the best sleep. I'm not feeling my best. So like, what's the big deal? I'm good, right? It's like, well, you're kind of supposed to keep on taking it, but I understand.
It seems to me that you were the right person to make that decision to quit, and not someone else to tell you.
100%. I mean, with medications, with supplements, with food, with everything, you know how your body reacts. And when your body does not react well, then it's time to say, put on the brakes. We need to change things up.
Good for you. A lot of people don't speak up. You know, they're so frightened that they don't listen to their own bodies. And I think that urge for you to stop at that point, that comes from your body intelligence enough.
Right. And I mean, and the whole thing is being intuitive enough, or which is really hard for me, slowing down enough to listen, to say, what is my body really telling me? Is this honoring me? Is this debilitating me?
Yeah, I mean, the fear that is induced in most people with this, it's like whatever you say. And, you know, they continue to take this stuff and it continues to debilitate their body. So then you said 20 years later, what went on in the 20 years between the time that you stopped taking this, the tamoxifen, and another diagnosis comes through?
A lot of life, a lot of stressors, ups and downs and things like that. And the crazy thing is, it's never fun to go in and get a mammogram and have your breasts smush. After I had my mastectomy, you know, like crazy things, i.e. I was teaching PE at that point. And I had decided that I wasn't going to do anything. And I just had like little soft squishy balls that I would put in my bra, so that it looked like I had a little bit of something instead of, well, because I was lopsided. So I had one breast, one sad breast, and one nothing. And so I had this little bitty thing that I would put in my bra. And I'm teaching these, I think it was at that point like fourth graders, and we were like inside and we were working on jump rope and having all kinds of fun, different things you can do with jump rope. And, you know, like, Miss Edie, will you go ahead and show us how to do double dutch? So I taught them how to twirl it, and then I jump in, and what should happen? But my little thing falls out on the ground. It's like, what's this? I'm like, oh, well, that's me. So a perfect segue into, this is why we listen to our bodies, ladies and gentlemen. Because I had a mastectomy. There's no longer a form there. See, I'm flat. This is, you know, like, because normalize it. Why not normalize it? We are all so, so different. So then after that, I decided, well, maybe I want to have something that's a little bit more permanent, so that I don't have to worry about things. Because then also at that point, because I'm a swimmer, and you put on a bathing suit and you have a, you know, like concave and a B. And so I had found this like silicone form. It was like a little triangle that you could basically Velcro to your chest, so that when I had a bathing suit on, it didn't look weird. Like, well, I don't really care, but I did. So I would wear that during the day, because I could wear it like all the time, as well as in the water, and it would stay on. So my dear sweet children, like when I would come home at the end of the day, and it'd be like so hot, and so like one side would be sweating, and so I would take it off and I'd put that little cutlet on the kitchen counter, and my kids would be like, Mom, quit leaving that around. You've got friends coming over and they're like, what's this? Oh my God, that's your mom's breast. You're like, okay, whatever. Yeah, too much fun. So I decided to go in and get some enhancements. So I got a little bit larger than I had anticipated. They weren't bad, but they weren't good, because from that became some shoulder issue, you know, like just a lot of, if you're a large breasted woman, I'm very, very sorry, but those are heavy, especially when you, and they're heavy.
Yes, they weigh you down.
They definitely weigh you down. So I had those to contend with, which those, I mean, they were great. I mean, I felt good, but wow.
Va boom, girl.
Yeah, there was some va boom. There were some very, very funny things that happened with them and getting them to where they were. And that always just, and I mean, I got so many weird and stupid stories about things that have happened to my body. Became very cognizant of how my body felt and looked. But I don't think that it was vanity in any sense of the imagination. But I had a lovely scar straight across, and there was some discoloration that was on the scar. And I actually did call the plastic surgeon and I said, has there been a recall? Is there something going on? And he's like, no, those are fine. You're good. And it would show up as just like it looked like a staple on my mammogram. So like still would go and get mammograms and they would do the live side. And when I said that there was something that was weird, could they look at it? And they tried with the mammogram and it was like, yeah, it just kind of looks like maybe it's scar tissue or the seam or something like that. It's not a big deal. So I did go to a breast surgeon in Greenville, and he kind of was like, it's probably nothing. Oh, okay. But I still want to have it biopsied. He's like, it's like probably nothing. No, I really want to get this looked at. And so he kind of thought, I mean, I got the impression afterwards, of which I was quite irritated. I kind of felt like he thought I was a hypochondriac. Having a hypochondriac mother, like, okay, whatever. I'll be the hypochondriac if I need to be. It's my body. It's my choice. I'll put it like that. So he I did the biopsy. I mean, we didn't think anything of it. And about a week later, we were on our way to a concert in Charlotte and got a phone call 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. And he says, I never thought I'd have to be telling you this. And we decided at that point, which was probably our children were not happy, but we decided, you know what, we're not going to say anything to anybody until we know what it is. So we waited till we found out what we needed to do. All because I said something's not right, and if I sort of like before, which I said, like if anything good can come of this, the breast cancer from 2001, there was a woman that came to me and she said, I'm way overdue for a mammogram and I think that I feel a lump. And I said, why are you telling me about this? Because you need to go and schedule something like right now. Or do you need me to schedule something for you right now? Because don't take that. And unfortunately, she had stage 4 breast cancer. And unfortunately, I mean, she got her diagnosis. She knew what was going to happen. And so therefore they could plan for it because it was not a pleasant outcome. And I mean, her husband then got to raise 2 little girls. But if she probably wouldn't have known about it earlier. She just wasn't cognizant of it. But I was really, really, really trying to get my kids and my students' parents more cognizant of the fact that you need to take care of yourself, because you can't rely on the, like I'll go to the doctor when I'm sick. No. You need testing and other things to know where you are right now and where you could go. Because like, especially now, since, like longevity is what I preach and what I reach for. And if you don't know where you are right now, how can you expect to have any different outcome? So with that, so then, like fast forward, and I've got this little nodule, whatever, because I knew it was there. I knew I need to do something with it. And and I was 100% like, let's do this. Now let's get it over with, because I don't want it to affect me any longer than it needs to.
Fabulous. So you were determined and not afraid, just go for it.
Yeah. Because there's one of those. Yes, if the plan is for me to go, then let me do it, like let me do it now. If the plan is not for me to go, let me do something that I can help people in the future.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Which is exactly what you're doing. So what happened? You had a biopsy?
I had a biopsy and they said, "Oh, look, you have estrogen positive stage 2. We are you ready for some treatment?" And like, yes, 100%.
Did you ever get a hit, Edie? Did you ever get a hit as to whether, and did that matter to you, whether it was a recurrence or something new?
It didn't matter to me. What mattered was that I like quick jump on it.
Move. Yeah.
Yeah. I, like at that point, at 62 years old, no, I got a long life ahead of me.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep this. I don't want to keep this up.
I don't want to wake up and let my dreams die. This moment I'll make it mine. Don't tell me I'm wasting time. I'll show you what I'm made of and give my dreams life. I'll put it all on the line, just like I'm young, wild and alive.
Good attitude. So what was it like going through your treatments?
So I did something that was recommended to me by the staff that was in Greenville that I went to. The nurse navigator had said, like, have you ever heard of cold capping? I'm like, no, I have no idea what's cold capping. So, well, what we do is basically we freeze your hair follicles so that when the chemo gets into your body, you're not going to lose your hair. You know what? I just don't want to be bald. My oldest brother had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma 10 years ago, and we look very similar. And I thought, it was not. I'm really not going for the cue ball head. So you purchase this cap that looks like, and I do have to send you a picture of it. It's hilarious. You look sort of like Snoopy and the Red Baron. And you're hooked up to this long hose to this big machine that circulates water that freezes, that comes back through, and it freezes your hair follicles so that after the chemo. So no, my hair didn't fall out. It thinned tremendously. So I went from, my hair was about this long, and I went to like Jamie Lee Curtis, short, fun, cute, and like so cool. I loved it. I was very cognizant of the food that I was eating at that point and what and why I was eating it, and realizing, of course, that sugar is something that feeds cancer cells, and that gluten and dairy are things that my body does not process well. Excess carbs, I mean, like, I'm not gonna like fill up on crackers with ingredients that I can't pronounce, and soda. But I would pack all my stuff and they would laugh, like, okay, here she comes, we'll go ahead and put that, like I had my little refrigerator bag, and like, we'll warm up your lunch for you and that kind of stuff, because I mean, I'm there all day. So I made the most of it. And I would take my computer, I would take my Kindle, I'd have like all these things. I'm gonna get all this stuff done today. And as you're being poisoned, yeah, like I couldn't do anything.
What happened to you physically with those infusions?
Like day 1 was nauseous, gross. I want to die. Very sleepy, just very nauseous, didn't want to do anything. So like I'm in there and I'm on top of the world. The day after, when I'd come home, it'd be like, this is terrible. And then, like day 3, a little better. Day 4, okay, I'm perking up. I can do better. And so like you get to really feeling like I'm on top of the world again. And then, oh, guess what? Time to go back in. Poison Central's on its way. But I mean, it was one of those things. I mean, I laughed and cut up. I love the people that were there. Um,
You're bubbling and full of energy, and I think your outlook. I think talk about outlook and how that has an effect on one's healing.
oh my goodness. I mean, outlook, laughter, mindset is everything. If trash goes in, trash comes out. Kind of what I think, whether it be books you read, things you listen to, people you interact with, whatever it is, trash goes in, trash comes out. And I'm a total positivity kind of freak. And to me, everything is rainbows and sunshine. And it irritates some people that I'm that way, but I don't really I don't really care.
Good.
It makes me happy. And I don't know why you would want to live otherwise, but I know that some people can't help that. So
Edie, do you think that your positive attitude and the outlook of that I'm going to do this and I'm going to come out the other side whole, do you think that that has made a difference and would make a difference for others?
oh my goodness, yes. My goodness, yes. Thinking, I mean, like I just look at all of these little things that happen. It's like this is a speed bump. And as I said, what was my quote? I've forgotten already. That I'm going to tell you what it is.
Okay, go
so
ahead,
good.
open it up.
Why do we force? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up.
And that was from Alfred Pennyworth, who was the butler of Batman. But why do we fall? I mean, like everybody falls, everybody stumbles. We get back up and then we know, oh, well, wait, was there something in my way I needed to remove? Like I want to share with everybody else, you can have fun, like 60s, menopause, cancer, all that other stuff. That's not a stop sign. That's definitely a like, put on those big girl panties and keep going because there's so much more fun to have out there. And, like, I don't want to be I want to be the one that's, like pulling it to heaven on two wheels, like, okay, here she is. Oh, well.
You have such an amazing and wonderful positive attitude, which, to come through what you've been through with those cancer treatments and look as vibrant and healthy and just you have this beautiful energy about you. What are you doing now? You are actually doing personal training for people. Could you talk about that a little bit?
I'm able, number one, to function with the energy that I have. And then thinking, like I look at women our age who are just like, I'm so sad. Like, and, like, and then you follow them in the grocery store and like the things that they're putting in their carts. I understand why you're so sad because your brain is not producing what it needs in order to bring on those happy hormones because like you're not giving it what it needs. Well, how about we start stoking those fires and get your metabolism back working again so that you can truly process those foods in your brain and in your cells so that you can gain muscle, so you can gain energy. Hello. It's like a win-win situation.
So you do the whole thing. I mean, when you take a client on, you are there coaching them for their eating and coaching them for their exercise. What else? What am I missing?
And mindset, trying to change their mind and what they're doing. So what they get when they come to work with me, we go through a 6-week training. I give you an education piece every morning about anything from, like, what does protein do for your body? What does hydration do for your body? to like, what do your prior thoughts do to your body? And it just builds week by week by week in the 6 weeks. And then they also get a menu with recipes.
Your coaching just sounds life-changing. And so once they finish with the 6 weeks with you, are they able to do, go out and be on their own and actually be disciplined about taking care of their body and its needs?
Well, I mean, many people, yes. Many people say, I got it. It's great. See you later. And then I say, fantastic. I'm super excited for you. Many people say, you know what? I need this month. I need the monthly accountability or the daily accountability. I love the workouts. I don't have to worry about what I'm going to cook.
Nice.
So those kind of things are packaged together, which makes it really, really good because, I mean, it takes away like one less stressor of the week.
That is fantastic. So let's finish up by just sharing what do you want to say to the world about sickness, about health, about exercise, about state of mind, whatever comes to you?
So what I want to say to the world is that you are truly your best advocate, and you are responsible for the vessel that you have. It might be bruised, battered, beaten, but it doesn't mean that your brain needs to be. And your brain is what's going to tell the rest of your body what to do.
So you were a coach in every way, physical, mental, psychological, eating, exercising, everything. So I think people would be very blessed to be working with you. And now we will put all that information of how to reach you on this video. Is there anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
I love giving myself like monthly goals of what I need to do instead of like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm 64 years old. I'm just going to sit back and see how many soap operas I can watch.
And then just fade into oblivion with some horrible disease or sickness. And, this is, living into your mid 60s and onward, with a fit body and eating the right foods where you don't hurt all the time. You're not aching. You don't have arthritis. You're just, and it takes focus. We have to focus on our bodies, especially now. Back in the old days, we didn't have to because they just worked perfectly no matter what we ate.
Yeah, exactly. They like now it's all catching up to us.
Yeah, right. Now we have to really toe the line. Edie, it has been so absolutely wonderful to have you with us today. Thank you so much. And we will put your contact information up. And I'm looking forward to all the people whose lives will change because of you.
Thank you, Laine.
Take care, Edie. Bye.